Okay, everybody, thank you so much for attending today, the webinar on how to attract more of your clients virtually working from your home office. So I'm going to talk about some of my best ideas and what I think are some of my most important ideas right now for marketing yourself during the pandemic. In putting together this presentation, I thought, really what I'm teaching isn't all that different than what I've taught for a number of years. I've been doing these high-end programs, group programs, long programs, on and off for the last 13 years. And the thing is now with the pandemic, with the inability to get out there and network, uh, give talks to large groups, etc., the information that I'm teaching is more relevant than ever before because we all have to go virtual. And, we hope that in the next, X number of months, we'll be able to go out and give talks again. But it's not going to happen anytime soon, I'm afraid. As we know, the pandemic, we hoped it was going on a downward curve, but it's now going again on an upward curve. We're seeing something like 70,000, 80,000 new cases every single day. That's higher than the peak back in April when we thought it was the peak and it was going to go down from there. So we're in for the long haul, but we really can't put our business on hold completely and just say, well, I guess I'm not going to do anything and hope it all works out in a few months. No. So the good news is we can get out there appropriately, market appropriately, share our business with prospective clients, whether you have big corporations, medium-sized businesses, small businesses, or even work with one-person business practitioners. You can market and sell your services now. The thing that I notice is because of the pandemic, because of all this craziness, because of all these challenges in business, in many cases, people need us more than ever before. People need to know how to manage a diverse workforce that's working from home. People need leadership skills. Businesses need technology that can do things that they didn't need before with a diverse workforce. People need to know how to deal with stress and overwhelm and Zoom fatigue and all of those kind of things right now. And whatever you're offering, you can pivot, restructure some of your services in many cases, and create something that's in demand right now. That's possible. And I've had clients do it. I'm going to give some examples later on that are in some cases doing better now than before the pandemic. Now, that's not a promise. Not everybody's able to do that, but it is possible in many cases. And not with, a lot of hype and a lot of BS, with real authenticity, real value that you're offering and packaging your services in such a way that you can really make maybe the biggest difference that you've ever made in your career right now. Look, I just looked at the statistics of what's happening in the US right now, and I was shocked. It's more than I thought. There are 20 million people unemployed right now. And, the good news is that hopefully we've reached close to a peak and people will start coming back into the workforce. But that leaves all kinds of issues and problems. The person I was talking to today is an employment specialist, how to hire a great workforce, how to hire the right people. So companies have got to start thinking about that. If we're going to be rehiring people, let's break the mold and do it better than we've ever done before. Let's get a great workforce. This is a chance for transformation. This is a chance for cleaning the slate and starting over again. And so a lot of companies right now and a lot of businesses are going to really suffer. Many are going to go out of business. Many are going to fall on really tough times. So it's our job as consultants, coaches, trainers, and other professional services to be the, I don't know if this is a bit of hype, the superhero that comes in with good ideas, strategies, information, action plans, etc., that can help them. So I promise you, if you have a legitimate service and you know how to make a difference in clients, this can be a very good time to market if you're proactive. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to show you what my basic system is. Here's my three-part system to market right now. The most important things, and I'm going to get into this as deep as I can in about 45 minutes, 30 to 45 minutes. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about the program that's coming up in September and explain what it consists of and how it works and what the parts are and what the guarantee is and what the offer is to start. And if you're interested in that, please stay for that. And then I'm going to open it up for questions. Any questions you might have about anything we've talked about in this webinar or anything about the program. Okay, so cross your fingers. Let's hope the Zoom sharing works properly. So give me a second here. Okay, there we go. That should work fine. So, how to attract more clients at higher fees from your home office during the pandemic. So, what will it take to develop a repeatable system to attract all the clients you need? That's what you really need. You need a repeatable system. Something that's not just a one-shot deal, but something that you can do over and over again. The thing that I've succeeded at in my business is being able to take these same principles and sell different products and programs and information services over and over again in a very repeatable way. And I've taught this to hundreds and hundreds of people. So it takes a system. And this system is three major components. Master these and you're going to attract more clients, even now during the pandemic. So how I've used this system over the years, I've used it for a lot of different things, to market a lot of different things. I really got into it when I wrote my InfoGuru marketing manual in 1999, and I sold thousands of copies of this and made hundreds of thousands of dollars. So it was a very effective thing. So I noticed someone's taking a picture of my screenshot. You can do that, but you know, you can look at this webinar later if you want to as well. But you go ahead, you can take pictures of the screen if you want to. So the InfoGuru manual and marketing mastery program that I started in 2009. I did that for 4 years, about 20 people per year was my highest end program. And I could predict every year with my marketing system that I could put 20 people in that program every year. I filled the program and I didn't have to market for the rest of the year. And I made, close to $300,000 a year doing this. And then my More Clients Club, which I launched at the same time, which is my low price offering with all my programs online, I filled that program with 300 people to start. And it was really a going concern for several years. And then since then, I've done variations on my marketing action groups. I've called them different things, but essentially they've been the same. They've been 6 to 9 month programs with 15 or 20 people, and I filled these programs over and over again using this approach. So this is not just a good idea I dreamed up, I've succeeded with it. So what it's not, this approach, it's not a collection of random marketing activities. See, a lot of people do that. Well, do a little this and put a little here, there, and do a webinar once in a while, and it doesn't add up to the kind of results that you want. It's not passive marketing. See, passive marketing is, and there's nothing wrong with passive marketing, by the way. Passive marketing can support this approach. Passive marketing is your email newsletter. It's a blog. It's putting a lot of content on your website. It's posting a lot on social media. It's a lot of visibility. And then people discover you and maybe go to your website and then you get business that way. And that's fine. After all, I do a newsletter every week and I have a blog every week, and I don't do a lot of social media, but I do passive marketing, and it's important, but that's not our main focus for this. Because if you do only passive marketing, you do not tend to get clients at the rate that you can. And it's not hype-filled, high-pressure tactics. You can do marketing like this with dignity and integrity. You can enjoy marketing because it's not about, here's how wonderful I am. It's about, can I help you? I have something to offer that makes a difference. Well, then what is it if it's not all those things? Well, it is a proactive approach to attracting clients. Proactive means this. This is the 3-step more client strategy. It's an irresistible offer, which I'll be calling my HEOB, high-end outcome-based program, something that is really a powerful thing that you're offering. I was just talking to somebody before this, the person that just signed up for the program. She says, I have all this stuff, but I haven't put it together in my package. I've never sold the big program, and I need to figure out how to do that and make it irresistible. It's also what I call direct outreach. You're reaching out to people and saying, I have something, is it worth a conversation? And getting meetings with people and having conversations or presenting something to people. And it's an enrollment process. The whole process of having a conversation and sending information and ultimately saying, yeah, we'd like to move forward with this. When you put these all together into a system, clients pop out the other end, usually high-end, high-paying clients. And it can all be done virtually from your home office. How do I know? Well, I've been doing this successfully for the past 18 years from my office here in Boulder Creek. And I like to boast about where I live. I live in Boulder Creek, California, which is the southern part of the San Francisco Bay Area. And I live at the top of a mountain in a redwood forest with a river in my backyard. And it's been amazing the last 18 years. There I am in my office. There's the window, looking out my window. And it's my little sanctuary. And look, nobody comes to my office, and I don't go anywhere. I don't go and give talks anymore. I don't go and do networking anymore. I do everything online. And I've attracted all the clients, hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of business from this little office right here. Look, I am so tied to my office and working virtual that I don't even own a cell phone. I never need it because I'm always here in my office. So there's the phone on my desk. So you really can be completely virtual if you want to be. So here's the thing, you already have the expertise. It's not that you have to put together a whole bunch of new things in order to do this. You already have the expertise. You have the leadership ability or expertise in leadership. You have expertise in strategy, for instance, or expertise in technology or financial services and cash flow and stuff like that in a company. Operations, HR, human resources, marketing, et cetera, et cetera. You've got that expertise. You just have to channel it into programs and services that you can offer virtually. And some of you are already doing this. So where do you start with all of this? Well, first with what I call an irresistible offer. But first, the story. Now, this is sort of my favorite fun part of the presentation because well, it just is. And this might be the most memorable part of the presentation because it's kind of silly. So it's selling a can of beans. I came up with this idea years ago when I was trying to explain how to sell something in a different way. So we sell a can of beans and we sell a small can of beans. Maybe we sell a large, many different cans of beans. We sell a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and we'll do a little coaching, a little consulting, and this and that. So imagine that you're a store and you sell cans of beans and you have those on your shelf and people come in and they buy them all the time. But your wife says, hey, why don't we sell another size can of beans? Maybe they'll buy those as well. So you say, well, why not? So you put a medium-sized can of beans on your shelf and you start to sell those as well. And then one day you think, We can also order extra large jumbo cans of beans for our clients, but no one seems to ever ask for them. Why doesn't anybody ask for our large size can of beans? So you'll hire a consultant and they say, after much analysis and looking at your inventory, and they say, you know why you're not selling the extra large jumbo size can of beans? Because you don't have it on your shelf. I mean, this is just silly, but it's true. Because it's not on your shelf, you can't sell it. So you say, well, okay, well, let's put a few on our shelf. We'll make some shelf space. And now you have the extra large jumbo size cans of bean on your shelf. And lo and behold, you start to sell them. So of course, this is an analogy for putting a large size, big service on your shelf, a more expensive service. Not a $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 service, but a $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 service on your shelf. And when that starts to happen, here's what happens. Well, what's the problem with this? Why don't we sell them? Well, you don't have a big program on your shelf, so you're not selling a big program. So in our programs, we started to show people how to sell big programs. And lo and behold, they started to sell big programs. They created a program, they did a write-up, they created a sales letter, they created a presentation and said, we think this might be right for you. So let me show you how you do this. We call it a high-end outcome-based program, HEOB for short. And here is the question that you start with. This is such a powerful question. If budget was not an issue to your clients, what is the program or service you'd offer to your clients that would produce the ultimate outcome, that would really make a difference? So often it's like, well, what do you need and what's your budget and we'll do this. And I ask people, well, will that you're selling them, the small or medium-sized can of beans, so to say, really produce the results that they want? And often they say, well, probably not. They can only afford a 2-month program. I say, well, will a 2-month program really get the results? And they say, well, no, they really need a 6-month program. Well, why are you not selling it? Well, I don't think they could afford it. Well, I say, well, why not? Let's try. Because after all, people ultimately don't buy a process, they buy an outcome. So let's see if we can create a program that you feel confident could produce a bigger, more favorable outcome for your clients. And then in many cases, they sell that left and right. You know, I have clients who are struggling making $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 a year that are making $100,000, $150,000, $200,000, $300,000, $900,000 a year now selling high-end programs. So your HEOB program, high-end outcome-based program, is a complete solution, not a partial solution. It really produces a result. It's a program that is uniquely yours. It's something that, based on your experience and background and reading and study and everything you've done, your personality is something that no one else can offer quite like yours. It's not a copycat of someone else, although portions of it may be borrowed from many different things. But that's an important thing. So you really own this for yourself. It's a proven process. You've done it with clients before. Maybe you've done it in several pieces before and never put it together, but you have proven processes and strategies and techniques that work for your clients. And it's something that is so good, so powerful, so workable that you can guarantee it. You know, often people, we don't offer a guarantee. Well, you can't guarantee, you know, that small can of beans, but the big can of beans, that can feed a large family, right? We guarantee it can do that. And it's great if you have some passion about what you're doing. You have some excitement about what you're doing. You have a real deep abiding belief in what you're doing. So you can talk about it with excitement. And that's genuine, authentic excitement, right? And also it's something that I believe should be hype-free. It's not BS. It really is the real deal. Here's what we do. Here's how it works. We've done it with these people. We can do it for you. You have this problem, we can help you with that. We can. We've put it together. So HEOB programs don't just earn you more money. they produce better results for your clients. And that's all what we want. When we want better results for our clients. So look, I used to offer one-day workshops way back when, 10, 15 years ago. I used to do a lot of them. And one year, I can't remember the year, 2008 or 9, I did a cross-country 11 workshop tour. And I rented a hotel room and I flew to the city and I did a one-day workshop. And I had 20, 30, 40, as many as 50 people in those workshops. My list was pulling well and a lot of people showed up. And I did the workshop and I covered all my most important marketing ideas. And at the end of it, I came home and I went, after I'd done these 11 workshops, and I said, this was fun, this was interesting, and I'm never going to do it again. Why? Because I felt at the end of the day, it really probably hadn't produced that kind of high-end outcome-based result for people. People got a lot of useful information. But the problem with workshops, the problem with one-day trainings, even two-day trainings, it's dip and pray. Someone once told me that. I love that. You dip them in the training and you pray something actually changes. And I said, this is not a sustainable model. I want to help people really implement this stuff so it works to get more clients doing the kind of things I do. You know, I can fill workshops, but that's not good enough. So now I offer these multi-month programs, 9-month programs, because that's what it takes to really learn it and implement it and work through the bugs of it until I'm offering programs and people are buying the programs. Now I can guarantee the results. How could I guarantee the results of a one-day workshop? All I could say is, well, you like the workshop. I couldn't guarantee it would do anything for them because who knows if they're going to apply it. But in the multi-month program, you can. A long, in-depth service as well can do that. So you go from a vicious circle offering little thing here, little thing there. You're not getting a lot of traction. You're not getting the kind of results that will get you powerful testimonials. I did Robert's program and now here I am in my business right now. That builds what's called a virtuous circle. I'm producing great results for my clients. They're raving about it. They're sending me referrals and you know, it's just working better and you have a whole different kind of momentum in your business when this happens. So every program or service starts with an ultimate outcome that you deliver. That's the first thing we start with in the program. What's the program that you want to deliver? And even before you have figured out what the program looks like, what is the ultimate outcome you want it to deliver? How is it measurable? Would they know it when they saw it? Is it something desirable? Is it something important? Is it something that they would go, yeah, I would want that outcome. That's something I want. And that's something I'm not sure how we can get consistently. If you can have a service that can provide an ultimate outcome, you can succeed with this. So the second step, once you've put together your HEOB program and the ultimate outcome, you've got to get it out there. So the second step, how do you get your offer in front of prospects? People who can buy your services. See, it's relatively easy, believe it or not, although it's such a big breakthrough to create a powerful HEOB program. It's relatively simple if you've got the skills and you can assemble it and you can put it together pretty easily, pretty quickly. But getting in front of people, that is more challenging. So what you do is almost too simple. You reach out to them. So you start with your existing network. You start with everybody that you know in your existing network, everybody that you know. Every past client you've worked with for a number of years, people that are your connections in social media and LinkedIn, people that are business associates, people that you've met through speaking engagements, people on your email list. You know, the more people you know and the deeper you know them, the better. But we start with whoever you know. And I've had people with relatively small networks that have done this successfully and people with gigantic networks who have done this successfully as well. You just have to do different things depending on who your network is. Then you start to reach out, usually with simple emails. And I want to emphasize simple. And when I started showing people how to do this, I'd say, here is a model for a simple email. It's usually about 3 sentences, 1 paragraph or 2 paragraphs. I say, here it is. And usually this is what you cover in the simple email. This is a short course in this. Number 1, I've been thinking of you. I hope you're doing okay. Number 2, how are you doing right now during these crazy times, during the pandemic? You might say something about what you know they're doing right now from their social media or whatever. You know, notice you're doing this right now. Number 3 is, I have some new ideas, and then you mention your ultimate outcome that might be able to help you get this. I'd love to have a chance to chat with you and share some ideas with you. Some version of that. It's very simple. But here's the funny thing with me. I've given people these exact instructions are written out. And then I say, send me back your emails and I'll give you a check. And then they send me a 1-page, multi-paragraph email. And I say, no, I was really simple, serious, 3 or 4 sentences. No kidding. It gets a better response. You're not selling with these emails. You're getting meetings with these emails. You're getting conversations. You're getting interaction. You're not getting sales. Sales come later. So in the conversation, it's always about, how can I help you right now? What's going on in your business right now? What are some of your challenges right now? And look, right now, there are more challenges than ever before. So it's a good time to ask for challenges. No one's going to say right now, oh, things are going just fine. Business couldn't be any better. No, everyone's got challenges. So how can I help you? And listen, see if you can dig out where the issues are, where the concerns are, and really listen to them. And then, can I tell you more? I have some ideas. I'm helping clients do this right now, your ultimate outcome, whatever it is. Would you be interested in knowing more about how I might be able to help you that way? So, you know, it never works exactly like this. There's always, you know, depends on who you're talking to and what their situation is and what you're offering, but it's more or less like this, more or less like this. And then you share your ultimate outcome and see if they're interested. Now, an interesting thing, and you know, this little knowledge of this can really be a breakthrough for people. You know, I talked about marketing ball years ago, getting around the bases, getting someone's attention, moving to the next step. So when you share your ultimate outcome, you get on first base. You get on first base. Someone says, oh, that's interesting. I want to know more about that. But then the question is, what do you do next after you get them on first base and they're interested in knowing? Well, here's what's true. If someone is genuinely interested, they always want more information. They don't want you to sell them. They don't want a big pitch yet, but they want more information. If you can get their attention and interest. So that's the key piece. An ultimate outcome that's, tell me more about that. I want that. You know, I'd like to show you a way that you can get X. Tell me more. And so what we tend to do is then we start to talk about it and pitch it. That's a mistake. We want to do something different. So you might share your offer. Well, I offer this program, and then it has different pieces that you can share. So the first piece, the fallback that everyone can do, is some kind of informational document. Sometimes I call this an executive summary. Sometimes it's a sales letter. Sometimes it's a PowerPoint. Sometimes it's an article. You know, it really depends on what you're offering and what seems to be the most appropriate thing. But some kind of information. Let me send a 2-page document that will give you an overview of this. And they'll go, okay, that sounds good. I'd like to see that. Make it easy, make it accessible. The second thing that often works well, let me send you a little short video that explains what it is. So if you're good at doing videos, and it might be a video where you do a presentation like this, or you might just be a talking head explaining it, you know, how it works. Or my personal favorite is an informational presentation. Now, I do informational presentations, also called webinars, to groups like this, right? So we've got a group 52 people on this call. But you can do an informational presentation or a private webinar with 1 or 2 or 3 or 5 people. You'd say, I put together a little presentation. I put together a few slides. It's the best way to explain what it is we're doing, what the problem is, what you want, and how we make it work. Could we set up a time on Zoom and I'll show it to you? And you do just like this. You talk it through and explain what it is. And at the end, they really understand what you're offering and what the power is of what you've got. And then from there, you set up a strategy session, also known as a selling conversation. So, hey, so now you know basically what I offer. Would you like to talk about this in more depth? I'd like to ask you more questions about your situation right now and what you're going through, and see if this might be a fit for you or not. And most of the time, if you've given a good presentation or given good information, they'll want to have a conversation. So your information must make a strong case for your offer. So many presentations or information are, here's 10 bullet points about what I offer. That doesn't cut it. So you have to put together good informational documents or presentations. That's something that we teach you how to do in our program. So one of the ways you do this is use a thing that I call marketing syntax. Marketing syntax is the order in which you communicate marketing ideas. If you do it in a certain order, it penetrates better than if you do it in a different order. Often people say, what do you do? And we start talking about our process right away. That doesn't work. So this is the basic syntax. First of all, you talk about your situation, problem, or challenge. Notice I did that at the beginning of this. I said, here's the challenge, here's the opportunity, here's what's going on right now. That's where everybody is right now, right? So that gets people to present time before I talk about what we've got. Then I talk about, well, what do you really want? Well, you want to attract more clients, or you want things to be managed better, or you want to increase sales or better technology, whatever it is. So you better be clear about the kinds of outcomes and solutions that your clients want. So they'll go, yeah, we can relate to that. That's what we're looking for. We need that. And then share some ideas you can use. I'm giving away these ideas of, this is my marketing process. This is stuff, whether you sign up for my program or not, these are still some ideas you can use. I give away a lot of free stuff. I have no problem with that. And you shouldn't either. You don't have to keep it so close to your chest. Well, I can't share that right now until you buy it. Don't do that. Share your best stuff. Most people won't be able to implement anyway without your help. That's what you're selling, not the information, but your help to implement. Okay? So then, how can we help you? This is the service. This is the program. This is the structure. This is the 9 months, 6 months, the 10 years, whatever we do, that will help you get the results. And then from there, that's the complete syntax. And then we set up the strategy session. And then in the meeting, in the strategy session, you go over the same syntax. Where are you right now? What do you want? Here's how it works. What do you think? Is this the next thing for you? So this concept of marketing syntax is one of the most powerful marketing keys to understand how to communicate the things in the right order. And it's pretty simple, but you can make it quite sophisticated when you put it all together. So the strategy session itself. A strategy session is a meeting held under favorable conditions where the prospect is ready to explore working with you. So favorable conditions. So favorable conditions, number one, they know what I'm offering. Number two, they need what I'm offering and they're interested. Number three is they can put some time aside, half an hour, or whatever it is, to really have an in-depth conversation. If someone says, I'd like to meet and talk to you, and he says, well, I can give you 10 minutes on Tuesday in 3 weeks, that's not a favorable condition. If they're always answering their phone when you're having that conversation, not favorable conditions. So you want to say, can we have a focused meeting to talk about this and see if it's right for you? So, I do those all the time, and we have a conversation. I say, well, here's the program. You've told me this is your situation. Let's talk about and see if this might be right for you or not. And at the end of that conversation, X% say, let's go to the next step. So that's how it works. So converting a prospective client into a paying client. So what are the steps? Provide the information, like the presentation, et cetera, do the strategy session, and invite them to work with you. It's not rocket science. And yet, you know, if we put out this information and say, well, if you ever think you want to work with me, give me a call. No, you set up meetings, you have structures for all of this. Then it turns into new clients faster and easier. So your total virtual strategy, your HEOB, your ultimate outcome for that, you really have to know who your prospects are and who you're going to reach out to. Then you have to have an outreach system. Now, for me, it's a mass system where I send emails to everybody on my list and I do webinars. For most of you, it's reaching out more to individuals, but it might be doing talks through a sponsored webinar or a podcast or something like that, that again you get your message in front of people. Then you do a strategy session, then you make an offer, you make the sale or you don't, and you move on. So I know what you're thinking. Yeah, sounds good, but does it really work? Well, I want to talk about a few people that this has worked for in my current program. So this is Ann Tardy, and Ann, you're in the call. Are you there, Ann? You can unmute yourself.
I am. Hello.
You're there. And I didn't even know she was going to be in this. I'm not organized enough to set that up.
No, it's all good.
Here she is in the call. So because she's doing a webinar next week and she wanted to see how I'm doing it. So Ann Tardy, this is what she did. She had a list of 10,000 people. And she had only sent a newsletter to over the last 5 years. So she built her newsletter list by going out and doing a lot of talks, collecting business cards, putting people on a list, and built a really substantial list in the last few years. But that's all she's done. She's just been sending a newsletter and she's never promoted. So she joined this program and sort of the light turned on. She saw me doing this webinar. So she created an HEOB program for her audience, and she launched a webinar, and she just sent this a few days ago. And with the first email promotion, she had 375 signups. 375 signups. And how many is it up to now, Ann?
450.
Now you have 450 people. You know, this is the kind of result I just go for, dream of, because Ann has gotten more people in a webinar than I ever have. And I have a bigger list than her, but my list is older and it's, you know, I made 1 million promotions to them. So because she has a real fresh list and she hasn't been promoting a lot to it, she got a lot of people. And now she's going to be promoting, here's my program and why this is going to be valuable to you. And this is how it works. And and give them an offer. And with that many people signing up, I'm sure you're going to fill your program, Ann. So we don't know the ultimate result from this.
No, but I will say, if I can say something, Robert, if it was up to me, I would have just sent out emails to people one by one and created a page on my website, because it was super safe to do that. Make the page on my website, tell people about the program, hope that someone finds out about it. And then I saw Robert, well, I've been in Robert's program, and then Robert's launching this. And I said, I'm going to do exactly what he does. And I did exactly. I even took his email, the same format. I did it. And then I set up my webinar for a week from today. Same format, different words. For a week from today is my email. And I'm following him, how he's doing it. But I really have to say, if it was up to myself, I would have played very small, and I would have never even created this program. So being a part of his group, we are creating big programs or big ideas and being held accountable. So it really has me up to the edge.
So this is pretty exciting. But now, look, not everybody has a big list. So, but this is an example, if you've got a list, of some of the kind of things that you can do with this. But here's someone else. So this is Bart Schwartz. Bart Schwartz is my great client in the Netherlands. And he reached out to new connections on LinkedIn because he didn't have a big list of past clients. In fact, in the process of my program, he was a partnership. And he said, I want to split up my partnership. So in the course of the program, he split up his partnership, created a new website, new thing, everything, and sort of had to start from scratch. And we talked about ways that you can start to prospect on LinkedIn and how to get messages and engage people on LinkedIn. And so he really took that on and studied it and learned how to do that. And he started to get meetings with qualified clients, and he started to close business with some pretty big companies. And he's generated about, in the neighborhood of 50, it was in euros, but about $56,000, I believe, close to that, in the last 6 months or so. So he's really done well, just creating a big program, figuring out how to do it, doing it slowly but surely, and he's getting clients this way. So Bart has really been great. He's really a trooper. He really sticks with it. Now, another person is Kimberly Jutes, and she's in my current program, and she's only been in this program for, she's now in the 3rd month of the program. And she used the strategy she learned in the program to land a monthly consulting gig in a nonprofit organization. And before this, she hadn't had any clients in 2 months, but she started to reach out with emails, get conversations, started to explore opportunities, and all of a sudden, yes, we need you. And that's a project that's earning her about $3,000 a month. Now, the great thing is she just did a new proposal for something bigger, more of an HEOB, that will be for $5,000 a month. And I'm crossing my fingers. I think she has a good chance of landing that. Now, I'm saving the best for last. This was Mary O'Neill. Mary has been on my list for years. She's been in many of my programs, but she felt, with the pandemic and everything, I really got to get moving here. And just at the very beginning of the program, she signed up before the pandemic hit. And then the pandemic hit, and she lost all her business, all her book business for the rest of the year. She does mostly training in emotional intelligence and leadership. So this is what happened. So she offered a free webinar to an association at the beginning of the pandemic in March or early April. Then she put that out to a lot of people. She put a lot of work into that webinar. It wasn't just, oh, I'm going to put a couple hours. She put a whole week into developing that webinar for free. But then after she did that webinar, which was brilliant and professional with great slides and everything, then she showed that webinar to her client, her biggest client, who had cut back all her work. And that client hired her to do more webinars for their staff and their clients. And I'm not sure the number, but it was hundreds of people in the organization. And I believe 30,000 or more of their customers she did webinars for. So in just a 2-month period, in April and June, she's taking off the month of July for her yearly vacation. And she's generated $64,000 just by these webinars and future work for the next year. So even before she hardly started the program, she just rolled this out and made it work. So this is the possibility if you really focus on something like this and what you can get out of it. So would you like to know how they did it, how I helped them? So let me tell you about the Marketing Action Group and how it works. And this is pretty quick. I'm going to run through it really simply, really easy. So the purpose is, and the ultimate outcome of the Marketing Action Group, is to attract more of your ideal clients for high-end programs and services delivered virtually that produce measurable, desirable results for your clients. Or in other words, we'll teach you how to attract clients and sell HEOB programs to those clients. So this is for consultants, coaches, and trainers and other people that offer professional services to businesses. It's for business-to-business services for all kinds. If you're selling massage therapy, if you're selling exercise coaching. It's really not ideal for you. There are some exceptions to that. If you think it might be for you and it doesn't quite fit into this, let me know. We can talk. It might fit, but mostly business to business. It's a comprehensive 9-month program. It starts in September. Actually, the first session is on September 3rd, Thursday, September 3rd. It's on the first and third Thursdays for the group program part through May 2021. So the primary focus, what we work on in this program, was we develop your HEOB program, or programs in some cases. Number 2, we figure out what is your marketing action plan to reach out to your audience. What techniques and strategies are you going to use to reach out there? Number 3, we're going to show you how to reach out with effective emails and sometimes phone calls, sometimes social media, sometimes LinkedIn, sometimes webinars. We're going to figure out the best way for you. And 4, we're going to show you how to close more business and get more of those HEOB programs. So there are 4 components to the structure of this. Group training sessions that we hold twice a month, held on Zoom. 2 one-to-one coaching sessions that we hold each month. 3 marketing assignments. So not 3 marketing assignments, but marketing assignments every month. You know, we've taught you this, now do this, put together this, put together that, develop this article, develop this program, develop this presentation, et cetera, et cetera. So you're creating stuff in real time and I'm giving you feedback on it. And then we have an accountability system. We use Slack, which is a great app, which I found very effective. So you report in once a week and say, this is what I did this week. Here's what I'm planning to do this week. Here's where I'm stuck. Here's my questions. And you also post your assignments on Slack. So I can look at your documents and then I can give you feedback. So you're really in this, you know, this focused intensive where you're working on your stuff and getting a lot of feedback and putting it into action. So in the training, we meet twice a month as a group for the training coaching sessions. It's 75 to 90 minutes long, twice a month. Coaching includes individual coaching mentoring sessions once or twice a month. Sessions are from 45 minutes to sometimes as long as 1 hour and 15 minutes. Generally around an hour is kind of typical for those coaching sessions. And in those coaching sessions, we're getting more specific about your document and your strategy and what you're saying on the phone and your emails, so you feel confident about taking the next step. And then we give you the assignments. Participants receive assignments to take action after each training and coaching session. So it's never a puzzle what you need to do. You need to know what you're working on. And you can really go at your own rate. We're never giving you so much stuff that you're going to get really far behind. Sometimes a little bit, but you know, you can go at your own pace. And then accountability with Slack. Everyone reports weekly on Slack about what they're working on and plans for the week. I just love Slack. And you know, Slack, I've just started using it for the first time for this last program, and it's been a breakthrough for me. I can be in touch and support people in the program better than I ever have before. Really is a breakthrough. So why 9 months? So often people say, well, you know, it doesn't sound like that much information. Why can't we do it quickly? And there are other programs that do this kind of thing faster. But I found 9 months really works because people have resistance to change. You're going to be doing things you haven't done before, writing stuff you haven't done before, reaching out ways you haven't done before. And sometimes you put on the brakes and go, oh my God, you know, just like Anne. Anne was afraid to reach out to people on her list. She thought they wouldn't like it. They'd unsubscribe in droves. It was better to be safe. So we have to get past that resistance and try things in a, you know, on a small scale to begin with and show that it's safe, and so that you feel, okay, well, I can do this. I can make it happen. People are afraid of doing it wrong. Oh my God, this is a terrible one. You know, I've worked on this presentation for 27 hours. I mean, sometimes I'm not exaggerating, and I'm not sure if it's right. Should I put the comma here or there, or you know? And so, you know, we walk them through it and assure them that it doesn't have to be perfect. There's no such thing. You can do it. You can make it work. And people just need support and encouragement. People say this all the time. Oh, it's so good to have these meetings. I feel so much more, more confident that I can do this. This really isn't as hard as I thought it was going to be. And I'm really grateful for you supporting me. And you get momentum, you have a result. Like Anne is now doing her webinar next week. And then she's going to get X number of people that are interested in the program and want to talk to her. And then we'll talk about, what to do next. And then and all of a sudden she really gets things going. So what we found, excuse me, in the programs that I've done with people over the years, they start slowly and then they build some momentum and they create an HEOB and then they get their first client and they go, wow, that's the biggest client I've ever gotten. I said, well, you're just starting. You could get a number of these clients every year. And then, that's another barrier or resistance or fear about what the next thing is. And then, at your rate, whatever your goal is, what's important to you, we set new goals, new benchmarks, new things to not try to promote this next thing or improve it or whatever. And then, after 6 months, after 9 months, after several years, people are selling nothing but big programs and have really boosted their income dramatically in many cases. So let me tell you about the value of everything that you get in this program. I'm going to enumerate it one by one. I'm going to put a price tag on it. So the 18 group training sessions over the 9 months. So I figure conservatively, $150 a session. A lot of people say, oh, that's worth $1,000 a session. That's silly, So, but $2,700 if it was $150 a session. 18 coaching sessions. When I do coaching sessions one-on-one with people, sometimes I work with a few people one-on-one, I charge $250 a session. An hour and a half with follow-up emails and looking at the materials. So that's worth $4,500. So weekly feedback on Slack, I figure that's at least worth $50 a week for 36 work weeks. That's worth $1,800. Recordings of all the sessions. So you get recordings of all these that you can listen to for the rest of your life. I figure those are worth at least $50 each. So that's another $900 for 18 of them. And then written materials and systems. All of these, you have a website with how to do this, how to do that, how to put together an article. Here's the selling process. We have lots and lots of those. So that's worth conservatively $750. So when you add it all together, it's worth conservatively, I think, $10,650. That's what this program is worth conservatively. But look, you get 1 or 2 clients, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 you paid for the program, and over a period of months, people would pay for this many times over. But I also felt that $10,650 would probably be sticker shock for a lot of people. It's just a little too much. So I decided to charge this, $4,500. In other words, the same price of what just 18 coaching sessions with me, what it would cost to work with me only one-on-one for 9 months. It's the same price. So you're getting the group coaching sessions for free, basically, the weekly feedback for free, the recordings of the sessions, all the written materials, that's all a bonus. So $4,500. But the amount is not due all at once. I am the rare person that likes to just do a payment plan, and there's no increase in the fee with a payment plan. It's used to be 10 payments of $500. It's 9 payments of $500. 9 payments of $500. But as they say, there's more. So there's more is that I offer a guarantee. So here's my guarantee. And when I first did this, I wasn't sure. Should I really offer this to people? I'm really sticking my neck out there, but here it is. You must generate twice as much money as you invest in the program, or I'll continue to work with you at no extra fee until you do. So that means you have to generate $9,000 in new business in 9 months. And if you don't, I'll continue to work with you at no extra fee until you do. And sometimes this happens. A few people don't. So, I try to be picky about the people I choose to be in the program, that they have the potential of this. If someone says, I'm just thinking of starting my business coaching business, I have no clients and no networks, I might tell them I can't guarantee that because you have no momentum whatsoever. You'll be happy with the program, but I want to get people who I can offer this guarantee. You know, the person that I just signed up today, I have no doubt she sells one program, she's going to be fine. So that's what I'm doing. But there's one more thing, and this is a new thing. This is the first time I've offered this, and I'm doing it because of the, you know, the cash flow issues that people have right now around COVID-19. So people can start this program with zero risk. Let me know you're interested. So if you've seen everything, you like it, sounds good to you, you feel that it could help you, let me know you're interested. Then meet with me to see if there's a fit. We'll meet on Zoom or by phone. Then attend the first month free of the program with no obligation to continue. Seriously. Now, after a month, I'm going to ask everybody in the program, and everybody's attending on this basis, have you gotten your money's worth? Now, you probably won't have generated a lot of money in the first month, but I'll say, have you gotten your money's worth and you feel confident that you could continue now on a paid basis for the next 8 months and pay 9 payments of $500 or $4,500. And at that point, if you say, no, I don't think it's for me, I'll say good luck and thank you for giving this a try. And I'm hoping most of you will say this is the best thing I've ever seen. And of course, we're going to continue and we'll be happy to pay. But, you know, I'm not going to pressure you. I'm not going to guilt you. I'm not going to shame you. I'm not going to manipulate you. I am just going to offer the best thing I can for a month. And so it's free for a month. 2 training sessions, 1 one-on-one coaching session for the free thing, 3 marketing assignments, and 4 weekly reports. So you're really going to go into action, and we're going to cover the best stuff in the program. We're going to get your HEOB started, the framework of it, writing some materials for it, and how to start reaching out to people. We're going to cover that in the first month. So even if you drop out after the first month, you'll have a lot that you can actually use. So the only thing is, if you're going to be in the free month, we ask that you participate fully. You know, often people, I'm not paying the first month, well, I won't show up. Well, that won't work. So if you don't participate fully, it will be clear that the full program is not for you. And I'll say, well, it's not working, right? And you go, yeah, I guess it's not. Maybe it's just too steep a hill for you to climb. I don't know. We're going to ask a lot of you in that first month. So this is like a partnership. You know, I really get to know people well. You know, I really get to know Ann well. We have a great time. We laugh on our sessions. We really dig deeply. We have fun with this. I feel like I'm her partner, not just her marketing coach. So to do that, because we're working very closely for 9 months, I need to make sure you're a good fit for the program and you feel it's right for you. So we need to talk. That's the very next step. That's how we do this. So the next steps is, are you interested? Talk with me. Do the preparation work. So I send you a document of a number of pages with preparation work that you're actually going to be putting in 4, 5, 6 hours or more preparation before you even get to the free month. You know, some people have said about my preparation work, I've gotten more in your preparation work than I have in many full programs. And that's true. You'll get clear on your marketing message and where you want your business to go. You'll start working on your HEOB right in your preparation work. But you've got to do that. If you haven't done your preparation work, you don't get to be in the program. Some people wait for the very last day, but you've got 6 weeks or more to do it. You've got a month or more anyway to do it. And then you attend the first month, and then you continue if you choose in October if you feel this program is right for you. So this is no risk to you. The only risk is the time and effort that you put in, but not $1 up front. And if you're willing to take that risk and learn all this stuff and meet together with some other awesome people, then it might be for you. So if you're interested, this is what you need to do. And you need to do it right now. Send me an email at action@actionplan.com. And I'll send you a link to my appointment app. once you send me a link to the appointment app, then I'm going to send you a quick questionnaire so I know a little bit about you. And then we're going to meet. And then if you say, yes, it's for me, like Jennifer did today, then we make an agreement, and then I send you the preparation work. So I want to make sure it's right for you, but I've got to meet with you first. So this is what I'm going to do right now. We're going to stop the sharing, but I want to make sure you've written down the email, and you can just go to Gmail or something right now and send me an email and say, yeah, I'm interested. No, it's not a long-term commitment for the whole thing. I'm interested. Sounds good. Maybe I have some questions, but given what you're saying and attending a month, I mean, that sounds pretty good to me. And this is what I want. This is the kind of thing I think I need. If you feel that you're in that category, professional service business, and you want to learn really how to do this and make it happen and start getting bigger clients, email at action plan. And all I have to do, put in the email or the subject line, I'm interested, and then I'll send you back the thing for the appointments, and we'll set up a meeting time in the next week. If we can do it next week or the week after, that's cool. Okay? So with that, I'm going to stop the sharing, and I want to open it up to questions. So everybody knows what it's all about, but there's always questions. So if you have a question, you've got to unmute yourself because everybody's muted. Just unmute yourself. And I'm going to stop the spotlight video just so I see everybody. And, you know, you can say, hey, Robert, I have a question, or you can put your hand up and let's just talk. So who's got the first question? I hear somebody making noise.
Me making noise. It's Diana here. Hi, how are you?
Fantastic.
Yeah, great to see you. Another great product you've put together. I'm wondering, I've developed an HEOB program with 2 other people, and I'm wondering how it would work with a team.
No reason that can't work. I mean, teams are either the most powerful thing or the weakest thing. That is, with the combination of energies, you can do great things. But also it can be, oh, I thought they were going to do that. They were going to do that. I thought you were going to reach out. I mean, it can be just awful. I've seen disasters with teams or partnerships. But if it's clear about who's doing what, and then how you're going to split the revenues. See, the person that closes the business should get some money, even if they don't deliver. And person that does some delivery, you know, you have to work that out.
No, I just to clarify my question, I meant more for the program. Like I'm really thinking, especially for the 2 colleagues I'm working with who are newer to being consultants.
Oh, yes.
They would really benefit from this. So I'm just wondering, if we were to take the program as a team, how would that work?
We have done that on, sorry about that. I answered the wrong question, but I answered the wrong question well.
Yes, you did, but I didn't ask it very clearly, and that was good help. It was good advice
Well,
as well.
how many people do you have on the team, and is it just one business?
Yes.
Yeah,
3 people.
Then you could all attend.
Okay.
Yeah, and you could share the responsibility to do things in the program. Someone's doing writing and someone's doing this and whatever. Yeah, you could do that.
Okay, thank you.
Now, it would be not, I couldn't do one-on-ones. I could only do one-on-one session. Now, you could all be in the one-on-one session, but you know, I do that once in a while. Or you can do a one-on-one session with you and you can record it and show it to people and brief people, however it works for you.
Okay.
But if it's no extra work for me, it's the same price for the program.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Thanks, Diana. So send me your email and we'll talk. So who else has a question? No, y'all got some questions.
Hi, Robert Gerrit, yeah?
I hear it. What?
And I really enjoyed the program last time, and I sent you an email already. I'm interested again.
Okay.
And yeah, I feel that, what's that one saying? We should never start exploring, and after all that exploring, arrive at the same place and understand it for the first time. So maybe I'm ready to
said
do
that?
that again. I can't remember the name, but I'll send it through to you.
I think it was Teilhard de Chardin, somebody like that.
Well, could be, but it's a very wise saying. So, but yeah, so well, what I like about what I hear, Robert, is that because it's all principles, the principles don't change over time, over 10 years or so. But obviously, the whole situation about the virtual delivery, et cetera, is different. So, I did have a question rather than that comment, and I just feel that even though I did it 10 years ago, it's time to do it again.
Fantastic. You know, even though the principles are the same, my skill level and experience has increased quite a bit. Some things that I taught 10 years ago in its nascent form, we've mastered it so you can do it faster and easier. I mean, some of these things we were just sort of discovering 10 years ago, like creating the HEOB, and a lot of this work on the outreach was always the hardest thing. And I've developed so many strategies and techniques and ways to get in front of more of the right people in the right ways that work a lot better than what I did before. So, and faster in many cases. So that's pretty exciting.
Yeah, looking forward.
Okay, great. I look forward to talking to you soon.
So, hi, Robert. I'm Victoria.
Hi.
Hi. I have actually been on your email list with one email or more, a different email today than when I started on your list, for sure.
How many years?
2004, I think it was.
Okay. It's a long time.
Somewhere right in there, because I started in business in 2002, and
Okay.
I think I bought the Info Guru marketing manual and workbook when in that time frame where it kind of came out, which I think was like 2004.
It came out in 2009. I revised it in 2003. You know, I where is it? I had it on my desk. Oh, here it is. You know, I had it in a binder, and then I did this format. So
that's what format. That's the one I got. So I guess that's when it was on somewhere before that, and then I bought that.
Yep.
So but anyway, I'm definitely interested. I've already sent the email.
Great.
It's on its way to you. I've been watching things, and over the years, I do have an HEOB, but based on what you showed, I definitely could. I definitely need some tweaking around it as well. I'm really clear on my process and what I do, but it's that outcome and getting it in the marketing language that will actually bring people in. And I have variations of it too. So I basically have 2 HEOBs.
Okay, very good. Okay, good. You know, the people who signed up for the program so far are pretty great people that have experience, people that have been in business for a while. Most of them are over 40. Many of them are over 50. A few are over 60. And we had somebody in our last program. So, you know, if you're worried about I'm too old, we have someone in I'm doing 2 programs right now. One's about to end, one's continuing, who is 78. And he joined the program and generated 3 really good clients from past clients for big programs.
Yeah, I love it. It's just, I'm really ready to really step it up. And the one thing that is a gap is a really clear, consistent marketing plan. I mean, I have pieces and parts, but that contiguous, consistent. So
Right.
I'm really excited to talk to you.
Okay, good. I'm excited to talk to you. You know, I like clear and consistent. You know, I have a lot of talents. I'm a pretty good communicator. I really like to market and I like to present. I'm a pretty good speaker. But my hidden skill that you might not know is I'm a process geek. I love you know, this connects with this and goes to this and systems. And I don't know where I learned that. I wasn't educated in that, but it seems it's come naturally. I'm ridiculously organized and I have systems. I mean, my jazz collection is more organized than most people's lives. I mean, I know where every jazz album I've ever bought, where it is, and I can find it in 5 seconds. And I have 5,600 of them. So so I bring that kind of thing to this. It's like, here's this, there's 27 steps. And it's that 23rd step. If we can tweak that, you can make it work. I'm exaggerating a little bit, but that's what we do. We really try to figure out how to make a system work, a marketing system work. And I just sort of took it for granted. I thought everybody did this stuff. And I see people, they don't have any system. They just have a good service, but they don't have a system to market it.
Yeah, I have a good system and it could probably use some improvement, but I'm with you right there, Robert. I love systems and the fact that you have one, and this is a system gap for me, and it's not my, I've learned it by the seat of my pants university for marketing, but it's not my system. I don't have a system for it, and I'm really excited.
Who else belongs to the seat of the pants university marketing system? Anyone else can relate to that? I certainly can. I do not have a marketing degree. Thank God they don't teach this stuff in marketing universities. It's all for big companies, you know. My marketing degree is reading 500 marketing books over 10 years. So still reading them. Reading one of the best books I've ever read right now, in fact, a fantastic book.
That's a bit of fun. Robert, you know what the word system stands for? If you see it as an acronym?
No.
A system is something that saves you stress, time, effort, money.
Perfect. You have a system for systems. Okay, who else has a question? I see people that are smiling. Rusty is smiling. That's good. Mark is smiling. I seem to have your attention. Got a question? Rusty, Sandy, Pat, Jeremy, anybody else?
Yeah, Robert, I've got a question.
Yeah.
I'm here in Australia.
Yeah.
I presume you work with clients across, well, obviously outside the US?
Yes.
Okay.
I have a client in our program right now who is in Australia.
Okay.
Now, the time of morning that you have to be in my classes is terrible. I mean, I'm sorry. It's 6 or 7 in the morning. But I can't do anything about that. That's what we've got. And some people will miss some sessions, and you can meet with me one-on-one later in your day. That usually works out okay.
Look, Robert, you can see my beanie. It's the middle of winter here, and I'm in Canberra, which is the coldest city in Australia. But
Right.
Ultimately, it's my choice to get up at this time.
Yep.
And I appreciate that. My question is, and by the way, I actually do have a marketing degree. So, but the interesting thing is I struggle to market myself.
I know what you're talking about. I've had a lot of marketing people that market to big companies, and they're not good at marketing themselves.
That's right. So my question is, with your system, I presume you have some sort of an email system, like in MailChimp and all that sort of, or one of the variants of that sort of thing. Is that the infrastructure that underpins that?
Well, some people set that up. If you want to develop an email newsletter and start to developing that, I can point you in the right direction for that. I use Aweber. I like Aweber. MailChimp is good. Constant Contact is fine. I'm a master of Aweber. I've been using it for years. Yeah. But you don't have to be set up on Aweber to reach out to people individually. Okay. But I don't know how many people you have in your network. But one thing I encourage people to do, it's not, some things you have to do this. Some things, this is optional. You should consider it, is to start to keep in touch. Ann Tardy, I asked her the other day, how did you get 10,000 people on your list in 5 years? That's impressive. She said, in my profession, I do a lot of speaking at big professional conferences with a lot of people. I collect cards and I get them all onto my list. And then that grew. And then I install the software in a program. And they said, well, we want all our employees to be on your list. So that's how it grew fast. But some people have a list of 100, 200, 300 people. But
Yeah.
but this is what I said to people. It's better that 100 or 200 people get some valuable information from you once in a while than nothing from you. I mean, that helps.
Yeah.
And if you're not doing anything, you're invisible. So we figure out what's the best way for you.
Okay. All right. Thank you. I've sent my email, so I look forward to talking to you soon.
Great. Anyone else from now? Kara is in South Africa. Maurice is in Australia. South Africa is about close to European time, right?
Yeah, it's 10:21 p.m. here now.
Right. So it's 9 p.m. at 12 noon Pacific. So that's not too bad.
No,
So
it's
we
fine.
have people in England. We have people, and the program before this, we had one person in India and two in Dubai. So, we've had them all over the place.
Yes. Can I ask my question? I
Yeah.
am sorry, Rob. My video is off because it's about 2 o'clock in the night and everybody is sleeping. So
Where are you from?
I'm from India.
You're from India. Oh, I was detecting an accent. Okay, great. Welcome.
Thanks. And my question is that you mentioned about Brad Schwartz, the guy who generated his list from LinkedIn. Can you
Yes.
elaborate a little bit more on that?
Yeah. So look, I am not the LinkedIn expert, far from it. But I have found a few people that are the top LinkedIn experts in the world, and I point you to some very specific strategies they use. The top one is Melanie Dodaro. So I often recommend her stuff. And she has what's called the linked method. And it's not that it's simple, but it is time consuming. So you have to identify people in LinkedIn using Sales Navigator. So you got to pay for Sales Navigator, which costs $75 a month or $79 a month. That enables you to search for your ideal client of clients. Once you identify them, you make a connection request in a certain way. And then you engage them in conversation without pitching. Everybody does it wrong. Either people connect with no message, or they start to pitch right away. Hey, I can help you, da-da-da. Both of those.
Correct.
So that's what we do. And then with back and forth, maybe sending them some information, you get an offline conversation on the phone or Zoom and explore if you can help them. That's what he's been doing. But sometimes it's a series of 10, 15 messages back and forth, but it's got him some very good substantial clients. It's not for everybody. It's not for me and my business, but for some, that's really how you can zero in on your ideal clients. Especially if you're selling to big companies or medium-sized companies and you can reach the CEO.
Yeah, that's what my target audience is.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So
I've sent my mail.
But
I've sent my mail.
Once
I'm
again,
sorry. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So that's how we help you with LinkedIn.
Sure. So thanks for your response, and I've sent my mail. I look forward to your response, and then I'll take it forward from there.
Okay, we'll have a conversation, see if it's right for you.
Sure.
When talking to me, I really don't do anything to try to convince you. I've done that here. I've given it all. On this meeting, you sort of tell me, I have you fill out a form, we'll see, and we'll say, you tell me, you think it's right for you. I'll answer all your questions.
Absolutely. The thing that worked as a magnet for me was your willingness to kind of allow us to kind of explore for ourselves whether this is for us or no in terms of a no risk guarantee. That is what something which is, ideal, and that's how it should be. And that's what
That's how
kind
it
of
should be.
gravitate.
That's true. Yeah.
And the reason
Yeah.
and the reason I said that is because that only generates a lot of confidence in me that here is a guy who knows what he's talking.
Well, I guess I did a good job. I mean, I really thought this through because, I did some pre-promotion for this with a sales letter. I just wasn't getting response. So I said, okay, I gotta, I did a video for my group the other day. I was in a particular expansive mood and I did a quick video. Ken saw it and it was called My Marketing Genius. And so I'll give you away the punchline. The punchline to My Marketing Genius is I try a lot of stuff. If something doesn't work, well, I do some research and try something else. So I haven't offered a guarantee like that of a free month before, but I said, this sounds like the thing to do. So I did it and it worked,
Absolutely, it did.
I always persist until I find the thing that works. And I help you to persist until you find the thing that works. Sometimes it's hard and fairly painful. Sometimes it's relatively easy. I mean, Anne had the list, wrote the email. It wasn't hard. 375 people, now 450 people.
Correct.
It's amazing. It's exciting. So we never know, but that's the possibility. That's the attitude. Probably the biggest thing in succeeding as an independent professional, all on your lonesome, creating programs, delivering programs, is your mindset. I have to believe I have value, that I can make a difference, that I have the skills, that I have the ability, that I can go into a company and make changes that make a difference for them.
Absolutely.
If I have that, then marketing is relatively easy. If I don't have that, I don't care what strategy I give you, you won't try it, or you'll be afraid to try it, or you'll do it wrong. So I want to have people in this program that have a can-do attitude, a willingness to fail, as well as a willingness to succeed.
Absolutely. And the other thing that kind of hooked me on was that photograph of you sitting and in your office and overlooking the river. And I don't know how to word this to you, is that million times in my dream, in my I would say fantasy, I've had that kind of a lifestyle where I'm sitting by a river and I have a huge farmhouse where I'm overlooking and I'm relaxed and actually, doing my work from the confines of my house. And I just can't believe it that I've seen somebody sitting right over me, and that's the other thing that gravitated me to you. So I really look forward to learning from you, and I hope I kind of get what I want to do, actually.
So Nandini, how long have you been on my list?
I'm not Nandini. Nandini is my wife. My name is Moti. I've sent you messages privately, and I recently found you accidentally by looking at one of the a post from another group, which was Savo Neil. He is essentially the guy who is who's trying to advise people on how to build a consulting website. That's where I found your reference.
Okay, good. Thank you. Terrific.
Thank you so much for your response, and I'll leave the other participants.
Thanks so much, Mukti. Good to talk to you.
Same here.
Okay, so we're about to wrap up, but if anyone else has a final question, ask it now or forever hold your peace. Anyone else have a final question or comment? Anything that anyone else would like to say?
Thank you, Robert.
Okay,
hey,
you can be my last person, Rusty. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Hey, I'm sorry. Thank you very much.
And Jeremy, you want to go too? Or someone else? Go ahead, Rusty. Go ahead.
Yeah, that'd be great. I can wait till Rusty's done.
Go ahead, Rusty. You're first.
Okay, I just wanted to thank you for this. I'm one of the older ones in this audience, I'm pretty sure.
Right.
I'm 77, And I'm interested. So I'm going to send you an email and we'll talk. But I want to
Okay.
thank you for today.
You're welcome. And, you know, if it's right, it's right. If it's not, it's not. No pressure any way whatsoever.
Thanks,
But
Ray.
I'd love, you know, I have space on my calendar, and we'll talk and we'll go from there.
Okay,
Thanks,
thanks.
Rusty. Okay.
So, Robert, this is Jeremy Grandstaff, and I just wanted to quickly say thank you so much for putting this call together. I'm very excited about it. I did send you a message.
Yeah, you
I'm
got
interested to
referred
see
from
Kimberly.
Kimberly Jutes. Yes.
Yes, and so I'm really excited to see how the program is going to work out. Definitely going to take advantage of that that first month free offer, and I look forward to finding time for our schedules to connect.
Fantastic. So when I send the link to the meeting, you just look at my schedule. I have a whole bunch of open times. You'll find something. Shouldn't be too hard. If it doesn't work for this week, there's even more spaces the week after. So shouldn't be a problem. And I'm asking you to set up a 30-minute appointment. So not hard to do. Okay, guys, thank you so much. I really had a great time today. I had a lot of fun. I hope you did too. Good luck to you, and we'll see you when we see you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Good night.